Hey y'all, hockey fans, how y'all holding up now that we're well over a month into the new hockey season? The Carolina Hurricanes currently sit at 6-5-0. Tonight, they play the New York Islanders. Matter of fact, the pregame is on right now. One player I'm definitely watching who has surprised me this season is Teuvo Teravainen, a.k.a. Turbo T. In the game against the San Jose Sharks, he scored a hat trick. That was the same game that Auntie Ronta had a shutout. The big thing for me for hockey learning is I have finally finished Wayne Gretzky's book, 99 Stories of the Game. Shout out to Emmy Graphics who recommended the book. I'm really glad I read it. So as I'm learning about the sport of hockey, y'all know this is my first full season as a hockey fan. It's really important to me that I understand the game and what's going on. Like, I don't want to clap because everybody else is clapping. I don't want to boo the refs because everybody else is booing the refs. I really want to know what's going on. And Wayne Gretzky's book has really taught me a lot. Now, one reason why it took me so long to get through the book, because as I was coming across like a player or a coach or like a concept or even a hockey team, because there's hockey teams that he talks about in his book that are no longer in existence, I would put the book down, I would hit up Google and then go down a Google rabbit hole. But I just want to share with you all 5 highlights. I highlight a lot in his book, but I'll share with you all 5 things that I just found most interesting. Now, one thing Wayne Gretzky said about hockey is, the fact is, greatness is not captured in statistics, it's captured in stories. And that was in the prologue part of his book. Now, a couple of things that hooked me when I went to my first hockey game was the speed of the athletes, the power in which they play, as well as their athleticism, just their body mechanics and how they have to move and maneuver so quickly in order to play the game. So in the first chapter, Wayne Gretzky talks about the first hockey star. He actually mentions Brent Burns' name. Brent Burns currently plays for the Carolina Hurricanes, but this is what Wayne Gretzky said about power. He said the stiffer a skate is, the more power is transferred to the blade. One thing Wayne Gretzky does in his book is talk about different hockey teams, and also there are hockey leagues that are no longer in existence. So in the chapter on the Chicago Blackhawks, that's chapter 5, Wayne Gretzky says, not many people know this, but the Chicago Blackhawks got their start in Regina, Saskatchewan. Now, Wayne Gretzky talks a lot about firsts in hockey. In the chapter on the first All-Star game, he talks about what happened between Eddie Shore and Ace Bailey. Ace Bailey ended up with a plate in his head. And so it was a whole story, y'all. So anyway, so at the All-Star game, the very first All-Star game, Bailey was like wearing a hat and dark glasses. And Wayne Gretzky says, the hat covered the silver plate the doctors had to put in his head. The Leafs, so he played for the Toronto Maple Leafs. The Leafs retired Bailey's jersey number 6 that night. It was the first time a number was retired in the NHL. Now, there was a lot of history behind the Canada Cup. He really went into depth. But what was really interesting in chapter 29 about the 1991 Canada Cup, Wayne Gretzky says, hockey is a game of emotion. You can let that carry you to victory, but when you lose, it can be crushing. I am not surprised when I see guys cry when they lose a long playoff series. It's not that they feel sorry for themselves, it's that the emotion can carry you down as quickly as it carries you up. One of my favorite positions to watch during a game is the goalie. To me, the goalie is like the final boss, the final pit stop to keep the other team from scoring. So Wayne Gretzky said in his book, there is a reason the annual trophy for the NHL's best goaltender is named after Georges Vezina. During his career, he was a brick wall in the net for the Montreal Canadiens and recorded the first shutout in NHL history. This is why I enjoyed Wayne Gretzky's book, because I learned just so many different terms, facts, why things are, why the game is played like it is. So as a new fan, it's a great resource to learn more about the game. I literally could talk another 2 hours about this book, but if you've read Wayne Gretzky's book and have some thoughts on it, I'd love to hear about it. Okay, y'all. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye, y'all.